Well, I've got 6:30 on my phone, so let's call to order the March 2nd meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board. Also, if she were here, I would welcome our new member, Mary Nell Murphy. She was unable to attend tonight, but in any event, she's now a member of our board, so welcome, Mary, in the future. When you get here, we'll see you at the next meeting.
Maybe she's watching.
Maybe. So, Mary. So, if we could have a roll call, please, Laura.
Clay Putman.
Here.
Laura Henderson. Here. James Milowitz.
Here.
Tim Warner.
Here.
Mary Nell Murphy. Absent. Paul Prespolinski. Absent. Laura Koch. Absent. We have a quorum, but barely.
Very good, thank you. Has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes?
I did, and they look fine to me.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for our February 2nd? Thank you. There's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I guess we don't have anybody online doing, so we don't really necessarily need to do a roll call vote, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay, so can we just call for a total vote for the approval of the minutes? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
I think maybe we have to approve these minutes, which are minimal. But these are minutes of the executive session.
Okay.
And they basically say what we met for. It's a check off. And it says who was present. And we certify that we only talked about what we were supposed to talk about.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to see a copy of these?
So you didn't see it back because I didn't send it
Send
out.
it? I thought we saw them at the meeting, didn't we?
I don't think so.
Well, what was emailed out a few days ago prior to the...
That was the minutes of the last meeting, our formal meeting, I think.
Yeah, these are.
I thought I saw
Those
them
are
before.
just,
Yeah. I thought we saw these at their.
I thought I saw these in
You saw the agenda. So this is the minutes. It's almost the same as the
Oh,
agenda.
okay, all right.
But on the back, you'll see that it lists who was present. And Tim signed off that we didn't talk about anything we weren't supposed to talk about.
Okay. You want to see them?
Yeah, let our attorney go through it.
Yeah.
do you want to put Mary Murphy on here as being present as well?
She's present for the one last night, but she wasn't present on
For
the
the previous
17th.
one, right?
Oh, well, okay, these are for two.
2 dates, yeah.
Two different, two
One's
different
for
exec sessions.
one's for our executive session for setting up the interviews, and one was the interviews.
They're fine by me.
All right. Do we need to send copies to the members who weren't here or couldn't make it today?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This will be filed with the
All right.
clerk's office.
So do I have a motion to approve the minutes for the executive session held on the 17th day of February for the tree board, and also the executive session for the 28th of February? So moved. Second. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Yes.
Okay, onward and upward. Thank you. Secretary Treasurer's report and claims. Do we have? Did everybody get a copy to see the budget performance
I
report?
did.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the report of claims?
So moved.
Do I have a
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Are there any communications? Any communications?
Yeah, I've had a bunch of emails with Amber. I think you folks know the gist of most of them. Most relevant is two things are said. One is that the tree board has to make their decision on who we recommend for the job, on who to recommend to the BOW in an open public meeting, which this is. Thus the tree board will have to make this decision, blah, 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 Once the tree board decides who to recommend, the tree board should communicate that decision in writing to the BOW. Communication should go to city clerk so that the matter can appear on the BOW agenda. So even though the job has been moved, she says we have to follow the ordinance until the ordinance gets fixed. The ordinance says we send our decision to the BOW. So.
Is the mayor's office somehow going to be informed of what we've done then?
And I'm not sure how that would work.
Or is it going to die in the other department?
I think if it goes to the Board of Works, I don't know if the mayor's office sees all the agendas for meetings or whatnot. So, do you know, Laura?
I'm sure he can see it if he wants to.
Can't we send him a note?
I don't know. Why not?
Just
I don't see why we can't.
So yeah,
Just
just send him a note, letting him know where it has gone.
Yep, we can do that. So let's, when we get to new business, item 8, we'll discuss that and put that into motion. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Any other communications?
If anybody wants to see this.
No.
All right. Committee reports, item 6, outreach. Laura Henderson, do you have any committee reports for outreach? Education, gardening,
yeah.
and so there we go.
I have to talk about spotted lanternfly.
Thank you.
Welcome. Sure. So this is a new invasive pest, a threat to trees, especially maple trees, which of course we have lots of. It's also a threat to fruit trees, grape arbors, a lot of things. It has been seen at the far end of Indiana. So this is what the adult looks like. On the back you see the different stages. So you see a couple of different nymphs, you see the egg case, what it looks like. And this tells you what you should do if you spot it.
It can be black or red.
Yep. Young one is black, the late one is red.
Do we want to show the camera what this looks like?
Sure.
The spotted lanternfly.
Can you show them the back, the pictures on the back too? So the favorite host plant of the spotted lanternfly is, surprise, surprise, an invasive alien tree known as Ailanthus or tree of heaven. So it might be helpful to get rid of your tree of heaven if you've got them. I'll talk a little bit about oak wilt too. The time for pruning your oaks is coming to a close, and I think on warm days like this you should not do it. It's pretty much the cold months. And the reason is that the oak wilt is spread by insects. So when you see insects flying, as you might have seen today, I didn't see any, but they might be out. They will go to sap that is released by the tree if you prune it, and then they could carry the disease to another oak, and it's pretty much fatal. It's quickly fatal for oaks in the red oak group, and slowly fatal for oaks in the white oak group. So we don't want that either.
No, we do not want that. Thank you. Public Relations Calendar Events Arbor Day. I know we have ordered, I believe we've ordered trees for our
Or
tree
ordered
giveaway.
trees, yes.
Okay. Have you had a chance to speak with her?
Not with this latest issue. I spoke to her maybe a month ago, and she told me she had ordered the trees. I was on the phone with her maybe 3 weeks ago or so, and she liked the idea of splitting it up between the two dates, like the 23rd with the birthday extravaganza and May the 7th with the
First farmer's market.
first farmer's market. So,
May the 7th, is that, okay.
yeah, May 7th, but they're 2 weeks apart. And yeah, she thinks they'll do fine if she keeps them in water. The other thing, I'll say it now, but the money that she collected for donations at our last event went to paying for the trees. And then she paid some more on top of that, which if we reimburse her, fine. If we don't reimburse her, that's fine too. So,
Well, when you talk to her, ask her to get us an invoice and we'll
Yeah.
look at it. Okay, then please, thank you. One note I see on the minutes, we should probably change our minutes for the different items from indicating forester to arborist.
yeah, yeah, probably.
One of these days, we will have that finalized, hopefully soon, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so all these items, city park trees, of course, is something our arborist will address. Tree walk, any discussion on that?
It just occurred to me that I think that the tree walk has been one of those agenda items since I've been on the board that always gets kicked down the road. But I think the idea was planting a series of labeled plants in Washington Park. It occurred to me that Friendship Garden might be a good place for that kind of thing too. So, that's all.
Yeah, I recall not too long ago walking through Washington Park, and there are some of the trees in the park that are labeled.
Yes, yes.
Remember seeing that. Is that something that the tree board did early on?
I'm
know?
not sure. I think maybe the
Do you know,
Parks and
Dahlia?
Rec did
Are you
it.
asked?
No, I don't know.
I just wonder when that came about. But anyway, maybe we can. I certainly will take a walk around there and take some pictures and things, and at least that's some place to start, perhaps. Okay. Franklin Street lighting, we've talked about that, and we know that that's not really going anywhere right now until we get our arborist to kind of pursue some monies and things. Next item, grant applications. So does anybody have any discussions on that right now?
Well, we decided, I think, not to pursue getting the grant of trees from the same organization that we got trees from the last time, because it's just pushing us too much here right now. But then there is also the grant, the Nipsco grant, that is potentially available if we want to apply for that. I believe, if I remember correctly, April 1 is the deadline to do that. That's up to $5,000.
Is that the one that is required to go to a 501c3?
Not particularly. I think it's got to go through a not-for-profit.
Profit in general.
And I think we would qualify as a not-for-profit.
Well, you mentioned that a number of other recipients of this grant.
There have been other governmental groups that have gotten money from what I've seen on the website. So if we wanted to do it, I think we would qualify for it.
Are you willing to volunteer your time and effort to investigate a little bit and see if we can get the application going and what needs to be done?
Because I brought it up, yes, I will. What I'm hesitant about is I haven't seen the application itself, and depending on how much detail it requires about city functions, I may not be the right person for that. But if it's more generic and more general, then certainly it's something I can put together. I'll be happy to do it.
Yeah, take a look at it when you get a chance and see if it's something that you think you can tackle. If not, if it looks like something that you say it's April 1st.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, so if it's manageable
Maybe I
within
can
that
take it
short
as-
time frame.
Yeah.
Maybe I can take it as far as I can take it, and then if there's things that I don't know, I can pass it along to Laura or you.
Email us and ask if there's anything we can do to help to fill in the gaps before because it sounds like it's due before our next meeting, so. Thank you.
Yep.
We talked about purchasing and planning department. That's been on here, and I'm not sure what that really is? Or do you really know what the planning department item on our agenda
We
is?
had been getting minutes from the planning department for us to glance through and see if there was anything there that was relevant to us.
Oh, I think that I don't recall that I was ever assigned this particular task, as I see it here on the minutes. But, because I don't know anything at all about the planning department. But if I remember correctly, somebody brought up at one of our meetings a month or two ago that the planning department somebody from that department wanted to come here to talk to us, to be at one of our meetings, to talk about what they're doing and what we're doing, and see if there should be coordination. Dahlia might remember this.
Recall?
Okay, so that's what I thought it was.
Well, I could certainly give a call to Skylar York and talk to him about it and see if that's something that we can try to organize, to see if they want to come and talk about some issues, either at April meeting or the following meeting in May. I don't know how soon he can be available, get anybody from his staff, so I will call the city planner, have a discussion with him and see if he's got any information he would like to share with us and that we can share with him as far as tree planting and programs in planning with the city to kind of help each other out.
Just sort of coordinate, yeah.
And I think that's fine. But I think the specific thing that you're talking about was from the board president rather than the boss.
I think that's right, yes. And I didn't bring it to this board, it was somebody else that made that suggestion, or a message came from the planning board to someone and they brought it up here.
Okay, I'll follow up with Skylar and see where that goes. Urban forest plan maintenance, really nothing there until we have a tree city designation maintenance. Dahlia's still on here.
Yeah.
Well, I put her on here because she's here.
I asked to be put on the agenda. if you
Very
don't mind.
good.
I can talk about it, all right.
I would appreciate that, thank you.
All right, so yes, as I sent to you an email earlier, that we did get the Tree City designation,
Yes,
the
thank you.
22nd year in a row, so that's really great.
Great.
And I brought some information here. First of all, there's a proclamation that we need to start getting going for this year as well. So I'm going to pass it to you, Tim, and you can keep it. This is the proclamation from last year, but it's really well done. It's written very nicely, and I'm not sure about the 2 days that you guys have for Arbor Day. I'm not sure if you want to put 2 days on there or just 1 day of official recognition, because they have a date on there. Last year when you guys went to the farmer's market. So, I just have a bunch of information here about Tree City USA. I'm really, well, I can't wait until we have an arborist because there's a lot of available information online. So what I did is, I'm going to pass some information around. So I'll wait till everyone gets both sheets. But I did this logging into our account because we are an official Tree City. So this is like, privileged information for cities who did make it. But if you can look at the first page, it says, when it says Tree City USA in small letters, it says, these are the really 4 things you need to have to be, to be connected, to be assigned to be a tree city. Number 1, maintaining a tree board or department.
We do.
Yep.
So this is one, I believe that's when the tree board started, is when, they tried to get to be tree city. Having a community tree ordinance, which we do. And spending at least $2 per capita on urban forestry. So that's an interesting question. I had no idea what we spent in the past, but luckily our controller was able to, get all the invoices. So it turns out that even cutting down trees or, dealing with branches and things like that, how we had to subcontract out to do that. So she gathered all that material for me, which was really nice, and it ended up that we did pay $2 per capita, which was great because that was the only wild card at my point in December.
Sure, right,
like looking, I hope that worked. So that was really good. And then celebrating Arbor Day, which we did, and we have to kind of maybe make a little bit bigger deal about it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like just kind of promote it more and whatever. So, and then we can get all these, they have so much swag. They have all these like signs. I didn't do the banners. They have banners you can hang up in the street, but like we can get signs, we can get No, this is, you keep this now, so that's a reminder for you to do it for next year, so that's what I'm saying.
For this year.
For this year, yes.
Is this something we'd want to read into our meeting today, or just indicate that
That's
we
from
have?
last year. I
Well,
think.
when we do it for this year, see, this is last year, I'm just giving you as a template for
Okay.
next year. I mean, the mayor's office, I believe, has that, so you could just ask them,
Okay.
please do it, but pick out a date. I mean, you guys wanna talk about it now, like, I don't know what date you wanna have for that.
Well, how long after we're recertified do we receive this certificate?
No,
Or is this something
this is
This
the
is something
mayor's,
just
does a proclamation
generated
of
Proclamation
Arbor
of
Day.
Arbor Day, yeah.
That's, we have to kind of celebrate Arbor Day, and that's part of our celebration, is that the mayor proclaims it. You know,
I will talk with Chris Yagelski in the mayor's office about trying to do this spring.
Well, they can easily do that, yeah. So
They've
they
got
can
all the
e-
information, yeah, so.
They can just print that off, but like decide what date, so I don't know what date, you know.
I'd be happy with either date. I mean, April 23rd, I think is closer to the real day, but
Yeah,
Yeah, because when is
May
27th,
7th.
I think? Is it Arbor Day the 27th or 26th?
I-
think?
Well,
it's
let
in
me
the
see.
20s somewhere.
Yeah.
See if I have it on my calendar. Okay.
my birthday, it's the 22nd.
They didn't really hype the date on the site either, but that's all right. So, I mean, as people know, cooler temperatures, cleaner air, higher property values, healthier residents, all those things are what trees bring to us. So, you know, they have some numbers for 2020, but like I say, that swag is kind of nice, maybe some yard signs, maybe a banner. Maybe the banner would be nice for the tree giveaway when we do it, you know, so
It
I
would
don't
be
know.
nice. How
And
much
like, you know,
these things cost?
I did not look, I just, you can click in, you put in your town and you get one because we are a tree city. You can't-
So we get one.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome.
on the back, yeah. Well, I have that, I think I have that picture twice, so that's okay. There's a video library, there's Friend of Tree City bulletins, so in other words, we could be sending out a bulletin, maybe electronically or whatever. And there's a huge PDF, I think it was, I don't know how many pages, it was gigantic, tree board resources, just like help for tree boards. So all this is available, we have these signs, these are in central services, so we just need to get a sticker saying 22 years, you know, on top of that sign. And on the next page, again, more reasons why we become a Tree City USA, you know, like it's really an important thing, I think. So I think we need to celebrate it, I think we need to kind of foster it, and like I say, maybe get some of the swag, you know, some of this, you know, banners and things like that, but all that, I mean, you have to log into the account, and like I was kind of looking forward to passing it on to whoever the arborist is. So as soon as we have one, we don't have one yet, right?
We do not have one.
All right. So as soon as that happens, you know, I will forward the information and try to get them signed up to be the official login person. So, yep, that's my scoop. So let's make Arbor Day a big thing. Let's promote
Is
it.
there any chance that we could get this beforehand? Because
Yes.
if we wait so
No, just tell
for the
me.
arborist, yeah,
I
I
can
would
look into
love
how much it
to.
costs and,
Yeah, if you could forward that information for login to the account to Laura, then we can start looking at some of the things too and see if we can.
the thing is, it's tied to my city email, so that's the only thing that's like a little weird. But I can do everything there and just like kind of be in touch with you guys. So like,
Well,
I look up the prices of all this stuff, and then you guys can decide if you want to order, you know, we can work it out.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's celebrate that we are a tree city, and let's celebrate Arbor Day.
Yes, thank you very much. And
Yes.
thank you for getting this for us.
yeah, thank you and congratulations.
Yes, thank you
That
very
was
much.
excellent.
Yes, I know, I was very excited to get that email. It
Very
was one of those emails that had confetti.
Right.
You didn't have to sweep.
By the way, the Arbor Day this year is on Friday, April 29th.
April 29th.
So, yeah, good. Good, all right, thank you.
Well, we know you
Thank you for
missed the
coming.
tree board, and so thank you for coming back.
Yes.
I'm still interested in trees, so.
You know, I just had an idea, Tim, and that's just out of order from the agenda and everything, but what about having, like, the Parks Department here, or the head of the Parks Department, or whatever department would be the most familiar with
It's just helping.
things around the city, give us a tour and take us, the tree board, around town some afternoon and just show us the areas of town where they believe are most in dire need of trees. And this, for me, it would personally be a great education to see what the city, the people in the city government are most familiar with this, to just educate me.
No, you
Take
think,
pictures while you're there so that we can make a little report. By the way, I have a website that I'm glad to put any of your stuff on. So whenever you guys want to have a permanent home for something, instead of on Facebook, just let me know.
do you think Joe Shin would be the one to invite, or somebody lower down in his staff?
That would be Ed, but.
Or Ed, sorry.
Ed or Shannon. Shannon is the most knowledgeable
Joe
about.
is my sister's friend, so.
So, no, Shannon, I think, is the most knowledgeable because she's been there the longest and she writes all the grants. So she knows the Singing Sands Trail needs trees. I mean, she'll show you exactly where we need trees and native plants.
All right.
Because I have a feeling that one of the things like Nipsco's grant application is gonna ask, what do you want to do with this money? Where do you want to plant trees?
Oh,
That would
yeah.
give us some
That
insight.
would be great to have that ready at the time.
I will contact Shannon Easton and see if she's able to come to our next meeting or the following meeting and talk about some things the park department can work with us on
Or maybe take us on a tour.
and take us on a tour. I'll put that under jumping ahead to new business.
Sorry.
No problem. We're all learning, so that's it. Okay, Tree City, that's it. Goals, fundraising efforts, Arbor Day donations. I don't know that we have goals for our fundraising efforts other than just to see what donations we'll get, right? At this point.
Are we gonna have a suggested donation?
No,
Just whatever people will get?
it's strictly voluntary because
Okay.
these are giveaways.
Yeah. Now, if you want to walk over and kind of rough somebody up, say, hey, you just took 3 trees, come on, what are you doing here? We're going broke here. Yeah, no, that'll be our goal, is
I
just
think our main
whatever,
goal is we just wanna get the trees.
just to
in
get the
ground.
trees in the ground and get them to the residents, yep. All right, old business, item 7, consider changes to tree ordinance to keep up with changing times.
I just didn't want that to drop into obscurity or forget,
And
be forgotten, but
I know it says it may be tabled, but what exactly are we concerned with keeping up with changing
I
times?
have no idea.
Does anyone have any?
well, changing the reporting to the BOW for one thing. So hopefully we won't need that for a long time, but and I think Dahlia first suggested this. I think just going through the ordinance and seeing what's still relevant and what needs to be different.
Right. When's the last time anything has been edited? Does anybody
It
have?
hasn't been last year that I've been on board, so that's it for
So-
my knowledge.
You know, I think it's worth us, at least if we want to look at it on our own time,
Yeah, and that's,
and then maybe have it as a dedicated discussion item at a board meeting.
I think let's just keep this on the agenda for next month. I mean, if anybody can get to it, I'll certainly try to
I'll try.
read through our tree ordinance before the next meeting and just have comments on the ordinance of things that we see that maybe we might want to talk about changing. And if we don't, I'll get to it at the end of next month, or for next month's meeting, we'll try it again the following. So let's just keep that as an item and see if we can get through it. So I've got 18 things to do. All right, new business, we talked about Parks Department meetings and possibly a tour, so I'll try to set that up with Shannon. Any other new business anybody wants to?
Yeah, we have to vote on the candidate.
Oh, and before you go on to that, if you do talk about, with the Parks Department, about a tour of some sort, from my standpoint, it would be most convenient if it were coordinated with our meeting dates, like if it were on the same day as our meeting.
Right. Try to do that before the meeting or something, yeah.
Before.
Our board meets at 5 o'clock
following
before
day
this
or-
meeting.
They meet at 5 on.
If we, I don't know if anybody's available during the day, you know. I have to imagine that's going to be probably a 3-hour tour.
I would think it would, to me, I see that being something better perhaps on a Saturday or Sunday, so I don't know how your schedule is.
You think we can at least coordinate it with the week that we're having a meeting?
The week of.
Yeah, the week of.
Okay.
All right, new business. Select candidate to put forward after interviews for forest position, which for forester arborist position, which we did. At our executive session, we did choose a candidate that we wanted to advance forward to the city for selection as talking
Well,
Contract
we
for-
have to do it.
arborist, so, yes, so.
We have to do it at this meeting.
Tell me how we need to proceed after your discussion with Amber.
Well, we have to make our decision on who to recommend at an open public meeting. So we have to do it. Yeah.
So I guess first we just announce who we recommend. And
Or
then
no,
we
we
vote.
decide who we recommend.
I think we need to pass a motion, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to advance the candidate we selected at the executive session to the city?
Motion put forward.
Do I have a second?
Could you say what your motion
What the
is?
motion
The
is?
motion is to select the candidate for the arborist position to send to the mayor.
Okay, and that candidate is, we have to announce it, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's
It is David Stanfield.
Okay. We have a motion to bring David Stanfield forward to the city for selection as the new city arborist. Do I have a second?
A second.
You had the motion, right?
I did this, yes.
You did the motion, so now
I
you
didn't have it
second.
myself.
Yes.
Anyone second?
I'll second it, just to bring it to a vote.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of advancing David Stanfield as the arborist to the city, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
We have a vote of 3 ayes, 1 nay, the motion passes. So, Laura, if you could get an email together or whatever Amber needs to go to the Board of Works to advance David Stanfield as our selected candidate for city arborist.
Okay, I think that has to go, if I read this right, it goes to the BOW via the city clerk.
Okay, so forward to the city clerk, and then the clerk will forward. So that's where the mayor would get the word to the city clerk's office, I'm sure. All right, let's see, where are we? Any
So
other?
That's a difficult decision.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Any other new business? Any other new business? Having none, that item's closed. Comments from the board members? Any board member comments? Any comments?
Yes,
Go ahead, James, yes.
I propose that we pass a resolution
There.
to support the Ukrainian people in their gallant and noble struggle against Russia. It is inspiring to watch what has transpired in Ukraine, and demoralizing to watch what the Russians are doing. It's a tragedy. So I would move that we pass a resolution, or suggest that I guess I throw it up for consideration, and I know it's a bit ridiculous for the tree board of Michigan City to get involved in this issue, but
We all have something to say on this issue, so here's a good opportunity. So we have a motion for a resolution supporting the peoples of the Ukraine, basically, correct?
yes.
In their protection from Russian assault. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nay, motion passes.
Alright.
Can you draft up a little bit of the verbiage that you would like in that resolution, basically what we just passed, and we get it to Laura and she can process it as needed for our minutes and whatnot? Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Any other new business?
Did I miss public comment?
Yeah, that's
That's next.
Oh, after
Yeah.
work comment?
Yeah, after board comments.
Okay.
Okay, no other board comments? Are there any public comments? public comments.
Yes, I have public comment. I was just gonna say before, as you are looking at the ordinances, also please take a look at the comprehensive plan, which is a massive document, but that is how we are looking into development for the future. So whatever ordinance modifications you need to make, they have to be going along with our comprehensive plan as well.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Public comments? Public comments? Hearing none, we'll close the comments. All right, our next meeting will be April 6th at 6:30 p.m. here in this room. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. We are adjourned.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Right?